What's good, Gen X, YouTube? I wanted to do a follow up on the previous video about black men need to step up. The summary of the video was about black men and mentorship with black male youth at risk. So I came to the conclusion that mentorship is not the answer to the problems with black males who are at risk in their youth. And the issue with that is that mentorship is too minimal of a time spent with the youth itself or the black male itself. In order for your child to develop, they have to see things on a daily basis. So when you're talking about black young black males, they have to see what's going on a 24-hour basis in their own household. If you're only showing up as a black man who's mentoring, if you're only showing up for maybe 1 hour minimum and maybe 4 hours max, that's not enough time in a 24-hour span, especially when you're talking 7 days a week. I myself, I don't have enough time in a day to cater to this need. So, like I said before, I've worked 9 to 5, and I would go to school I have classes from 6 to 10. So by the time I get home, I'm not in any position to mentor your child. Now, an article that was from the Washington Post that I posted in the previous video states that time is not an excuse anymore. You're only supposed to give 96 hours a day. I think for many black men, in order to relate to the black male youth, they have to have a level of respect for each other, especially the child. The child has to respect you. So the small time frame that's being allocated for mentorship is not enough. Now, an article that was posted last year about black male children being least adopted out of all children, races of children. So even more so than black female children at youth. So the answer isn't mentorship. Not saying that mentorship doesn't play a role, but in today's day and time, as society progresses, mentorship that most people are thinking about is very archaic. So it's not enough for today's youth that are moving at a different pace. So nowadays you're starting to hear about I think they had an article not too long ago about black black teens, teens 13, 14 years old, having a felony conviction. So there's more things going on now than there were back then, at least when I was growing up. So the answer to, I guess, the article would be maybe we need to start adopting black male youth. Because in order for him to develop, he needs to be cultivated in an environment where this is happening 24/7. He needs to see that, an older man, a senior man, is getting up 6 o'clock in the morning. He's at the table eating breakfast. He's he's reading the Wall Street Journal or watching CNN. He gets up, hits the mirror, does the tie, grabs his briefcase, grabs his laptop bag, and he's off to work. He needs to see that. But when you only have such a small time frame, such as 1 hour minimum and 4 hour max, I mean, that's not enough. You understand what I'm saying? Feel me? So a lot of people want to attack black men for not mentoring. But even if they do mentor, how is this really? It's not enough. It's only a slight push. You need to have a full thrust on the youth, because when they go home, as I said in the previous video, they start to see their mom with men who are not of substance, and the mom doesn't care because she doesn't care about her own child. I mean, that's really the truth. They don't care about their children, because if you cared about your son, you wouldn't allow him to see you interacting with men who are underperforming and unethical. He needs to see ethical men in the flesh, in a daily span. 7 days in a week. He needs to see that 24 hours a day. He needs to be in an environment where two, a husband and a wife are interacting. And people think that mentorship is just gonna, is gonna solve these issues. It's not gonna solve it. It's not gonna solve it at all. So if we're gonna talk about, I guess, reaching the community, in terms of development or black male cultivation, well, maybe adoption may be the road to go for childless black men. Most of the black men that I know that are mentors don't have kids. They have something to pass on, but they don't have any kids. So if that's the case, then you really don't have much to lose in regards to that, in regards to adoption. And you don't do it for the money. See, I never asked for any money when mentoring or anything like that. I guess my vision is that, what's the point of buying a big house when you're the only one living there? You might as well bring somebody else in. Well, if I got an extra bedroom, let me take, little J, Marquise or whatever his name is, and I'll do what I can do. But if you think I'm gonna send him back home after 4 hours to an unstable environment where mom's jumping off in the room with Jay Sean and whoever else it is, Leroy, tatted up, wife beater, fitted hat, he running up in his mom's, and he's seeing all this, like, that doesn't help. Mentorship doesn't help. This isn't the time of Leave It to Beaver. We're not. This is the 1950s. It's not like people are coming from a stable environment, but they just lack the guidance. That's not what it is. A lot of these black males who are at risk are in hostile environments. And the only way to really correct the issue is to adopt them. Social workers, whether CPS, DSS, whenever a child is in a hostile environment, they take the child out of the home and they place them in a non-hostile environment. But when it comes to black mentorship, they think that having 1 to 4 hours a day with one of these young black males is going to solve something. And I'm like, that doesn't work like that. I was I do a lot of tech work, so I was at a customer's house, and she's a single mother, but her son came up to me with his report card and was like, "Look at my report card. Look what I did." And she's in the corner, like, trying not to acknowledge the interaction, but you can't fake this type of interaction. You can't regulate manhood like this. He's seeking male guidance. He's seeking male acceptance. Nobody cares. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody cares, but a woman can't give that to a black male. There's certain attributes that men pass off to a younger generation of men or males that women just don't see. It's just a level of interaction. You have to be a man in order to understand that. or you have to be of gender to understand that, I should say. So what I'm saying is, he's that child I'm speaking of was looking for male guidance. He's looking for male acceptance. He's looking for that interaction. He's looking. He wants to go out there and play, catch. He wants to throw the football. He wants to have that rough interaction of let me post you up on the basketball court, you know, and do the jump shot on you. They look for that. So what I'm saying is, for most black men who are childless, adoption is the best rate to go at. Don't do it for the money. Just sign the paperwork and let's go. If you got yourself together like that, then I don't see what the problem is. But for a lot of black women, they just think that you should just do it just to do it. You should just mentor just to mentor. And I'm like, some people don't have that kind of time. And some guys have reservations with black women that cannot be easily resolved. I mean, you know, um, so I guess at the end of the day, if we can't come to an understanding between black men and black women about why these black men are not showing up to these symposiums, why they're not really active in the community, why they're not mentoring, then I don't know what else to say at that point. We're gonna have to go our own separate ways. But when you go your way, leave the son over here. No, we don't have enough people adopting, at least in the black community, we don't have enough people adopting black males out of these orphanages and whatnot. Who are in foster care. I mean, if you look at the article, I'm going to put it in the corner. They're least likely to be adopted, and probably because of racial bias. People want to have um, kids that look just like them, or they can identify with from a phenotype perspective. But if no one's adopting black males, I mean, what's really good? I mean, are we really that far out of touch that we don't see ourselves in these young black males? Or are we just selfish? Are we too broke to do it? I mean, it can't be about people being broke, because you look around in Atlanta or DC, people are riding around in Range Rovers. So it can't be about money. At the end of the day, you do what you do. For me, I do see myself adopting in the next year. If I can finish up this master's as fast as I'm possible, but I do see myself adopting, and it's probably the only solution that we can have at this point for black males. That's all I have to say about this. Peace.